Let's get this season started. My name's Greg, and you're watching How to Play Paintball. So now the pro guys, now we get to play. So I know that we had people competing in the Texas Open. That was, I think it was D2 and below. So congratulations to all those teams that won. But I want to go play. So this is the Sunshine State Major. So this is the first pro event for the NXL. I'm sure that there's going to be leagues that'll be using this layout as well. But I wanted to go through and just kind of give you my first impressions on the layout. So make sure that you stay tuned. We are going to be doing a giveaway. And yeah, so you want to stay tuned for that one. It's a pretty sick giveaway. So make sure that you watch through so that way you can know how to enter. Okay, so as you guys have seen before, we'll start from the back here and then move forward. So start on the back line, and then I think we'll go snake, Dorito, and then center, and then look at some bounce shot possibilities. There doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of bounce shots, which I'm okay with, but I think there are a couple that could maybe catch some people off guard. And of course, we'll see more this weekend when we go ahead and actually get out on the field. So let's start with this back center. This is not a bunker that you want to stay at. I don't think that this is a bunker that you are going to want to just sit there and just, you know, pump paint somewhere. Personally, I think one, you would need to, it would help with scouting the team. But if they really like going into this God bunker or out into the snake corner, this guy is going to be pretty good to be able to pull up right away. It is a little bit of a blind shot because they have to shoot over this this wing here. So you want to make sure that you practice that. Set up a little target or something that you can hear of where the guy is usually going to be diving into, and practice that. Practice those shots going in. Same thing with the Dorito side. I mean, you're kind of just blind shooting over. If you pull up quick enough, I think you might be able to catch this cake player as well. But this shot here, if they're doing kind of like a up and over or something like that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's blocking you in the center. So I think it might be something that would happen. So you would just need to watch for that particular kind of a play. But that shot is there going into that brick. So you might be able to catch that guy trying to make a big move. But these other ones are going to be blind. You probably shouldn't stay here for a long time. Just because, I mean, other than this off the break, you can't really do anything. There is a good shot here if you just come off the box real quick and shoot. But you got to remember that someone gunning out can shoot into that gap if they were like coming out to this can. So when they're doing that kind of stuff, you just have to be careful of those drop shots over the top. They are going to be shooting relatively blind, so you might be able to pull up here, and then if you're good at kind of floating back and forth, like I like doing that kind of stuff. Charlie is a huge fan of that on the ML Kings. So pulling up and shooting that kind of a lane going into the snake is going to be real good. I think there was another one over here, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I think if you took a step off, yeah, I mean, you kind of have like a little bit going into the Dorito, like shooting and kind of skimming it past there. I think there's other ways to trap this Dorito player. So we'll get into that a little bit more. So let's go to the Dorito side because, I mean, there's only this cake. So in this cake, I don't think that this is going to be super useful. I mean, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot to stop anyone. You would use this as like a delay to either go up into the wing, dive into the Dorito, you know, just trying to go and do something. It's going to be more of a transition than anything else. It's not going to be something that you want to sit here and kind of like the home. You don't want to sit here for a long time because you have this shot, yes, but if they get up to the brick and they wrap, they can actually just crawl up and you're not going to be able to see that guy because this Dorito is going to block it out, so he's going to come up to there. Looking on the inside, you do have some drop shots. Remember that everyone has these same shots back to you. So, you know, if you heard someone's in, you know, this God bunker or in the corner, if you dove out real quick and then shot in, I mean, you'd be able to shoot into the God a little bit, and then if they're trying to run out, maybe, but I think that there's same thing. There's probably other bunkers that can do that better, and it's such a far run from like here or here that you should be able to catch that guy somewhere else. this is such a far shot. I mean, it's like coast to coast. Like you're shooting from one end of the field to the other. So trying to stop someone like that is going to be difficult. So I would use that more as a transition as well. So both of these, I think you would expect. Well, if you can trap players in here, like you can get out wide and have it where they can't fill out, I think you're going to be able to be successful. But if you're playing these bunkers, you need to make sure that you get out of there pretty quick. This can, coming out, does have a shot going into, again, this is one of those coast-to-coast shots, so it's not going to be super effective. The reason why I have this one here is because if they do get to this brick and there's no one over here to stop that guy, at least if you come over here, you can shoot and stop him from wrapping around. But if you lost your D side, you probably have other problems. But that shot is there. I think the home, I mean, he can probably put you in and then dive in. This guy at least has a little bit of a chance because there's that pin in the way, but it's still kind of threading the needle. And with a brick, they're going to have a lot more to jump around with. But it is an option, like worst case scenario kind of a thing. But on the snake side, oh, I'm sorry, on this Dorito side, I mean, you do have this shot dropping in here. So if someone wanted you to pick up on this gap to stop this Dorito 1 to Dorito 2 push, you can kind of do it, but I mean, you can see there's not a whole lot that you can do there. Also, I would probably focus more on the snake side with this, actually. With this, you can shoot the heads up, shoot at your opponent there, and you can drop in shots into the snake, which I think this is going to be a lot more effective to shoot into the snake rather than trying to shoot all the way across field. We'll get into the center. I think they're going to be better suited to get up there on the Dorito side, or to stop the Dorito side. But this can is able to drop in some shots. You can see that this beam, it's like a beam and a half. So there's a little bit more distance between the snake 1 and 2 than these other ones. So they have a little bit more room that it's not as crowded. So I think you might be able to stand up a little bit tall and kind of like shoot down on the snake guy, because they're not going to stay back here. Staying back here is not going to be super smart. I don't think that you're going to be able to do a lot there. So at least if you can trap that guy there, then great. Like, what's he going to do? Come in on the inside and try to jump across? Like, that's kind of ridiculous. He I guess, could try to go over to this tower, but then where's he going to go from there? So a snake player is going to want to get down the snake, especially with it being straight down like this. So if you can have someone here to shoot down and then have someone else maybe slingshot out, I think that this corner is going to be pretty important. Obviously, you have these shots coming in, so you want to make sure that you're tucked in. And I would say, my opinion, first impressions of this, shooting down the tape and keeping this guy honest, so being able to kind of look between these guys and stopping this snake push, because you'll see when we get to the snake, there are some good shots. They're going to want to get all the way down. So if you can trap them in a spot that they can't really do anything, well, that's going to be the ideal situation. So coming out to this corner, and it's an Aztec, so that's already going to be something that if I have a choice of playing a bunker, if I can get to an Aztec, I will. I can come up over the top, even with me being a little bit shorter. You have a lot more kind of freedom to move around, and it's just a little bit more comfortable to play than, say, like the little Dorito. So when you are here, you're going to be the one that's really going to be able to help out with keeping those guys in. I don't think that, because I'm looking at it now, I don't think, yeah, you can't really shoot at the can. Although I'm just looking at this now, you might actually be able to shoot it off there into there. That's a lot of these bounce shots. Just go try them and see what works. But I mean, I don't know, maybe be one of those ones that I want to go try this weekend. So again, these help me as much as they help you, hopefully. So yeah, coming out to this corner, I think is going to be super important to get your player up the field. And then if they don't go wide, well, then you can start wrapping and shooting into other bunkers to really pinch them, so that your snake player has even more freedom to get down there to start shooting out other guys on the other side of the field. So that's kind of the back line here. Okay, so with the snake. So the snake, and let me go ahead and actually, I'll just turn it this way. So with the snake, I don't think it's going to be good to stay back here. I mean, if you look, I mean, you have a huge brick here that's going to block a lot of shots, and then some larger bunkers are blocking you out. And if you start getting shots coming in from, I guess if they're on your side is really where they could shoot you. So like you're safe, but you're not going to be really effective back there. I would say you want to get up at least into the snake 2 and snake 3, so that way you're able to start getting those crossfield shots. Now this one, I think that this center, and we'll talk about it more, is going to be, it's going to be good. Like you're going to see a lot of guys moving around, doing different things, trying to get all sneaky. So the guy might be posted here and then swing back and kind of sit in there and shoot into you. So you have that same shot back. You're able to shoot into either side of that. Also, shooting deeper into like this little Dorito. A little Dorito is going to be kind of tough to play. He's able to play this outside, but if you can make it where this guy is uncomfortable, well, now your Dorito side can hopefully get up into this brick and shoot this guy because you'll be able to kind of push him out that way. So this snake player is going to be able to shoot into that. The snake 3, I think, has a little bit better shots because he can shoot into that Dorito better than this snake 2. So let's say there's someone that's really stopping you. That's a shot that you have. If you're able to get up to the 3, you can shoot into that little Dorito, shooting into this wing, and also into that cake. And then, of course, you have some of these on the inside if that guy's trying to put you in. These are going to be more dangerous. Shooting from the inside to something where someone is able to stand up in is going to be, you're at the disadvantage because you're down. So you're having to get into like a weird position to move out of the way of paint. So that's going to be there if like they have no clue that you're there and you just snap out, I guess. But once you have that freedom, of course, slide up. If there's this wing, you'll be able to go and shoot him. But I mean, you don't have a whole lot from this snake. It's when you get into their snake 2 and snake 1 that you're going to be able to do a lot more damage. Obviously, you get into their snake 1, you're behind their middle players now. So eliminating their middle players is going to be really important on this field. Same thing with this tower and that Dorito. I mean, you have a lot of shots that you get down here, but this is why you need to have someone behind you, because if someone, let's say that this guy fills out to try to stop you or try to run you down, you need to have someone behind you to protect you, so that way you can keep going and eliminating players here while this guy is protecting you, and then you finish out and eliminate that last player. So you just want to make sure that you're protected. But obviously the best shots are going to be from their snake 1. I mean, that's usually how it's going to be. You get to their side, it's going to be better shots. From their snake 2, you do have that same shot into the can. You can shoot into that Dorito, into the tower. So you do have some options, but if they give you the chance to come into their snake 1, like if this side is blown, and you're able to get past, like let's say that you're already in here and here, I think you're blocked out an okay amount that if you stayed low enough, you could come all the way down and not have to worry about that can. That's something I have to double check. But you really want to make sure that you can stop guys. I mean, if they get to this snake, I guess it'd be snake 4 if you're counting it this way, they don't really have a whole lot that they can do. I mean, obviously, if there's someone in the center, then that's not going to be good for them. But yeah, I mean, if you can stop them back here, stop them from pushing up into your snake, obviously trap them at the 1 or the 2, that's going to be your best bet. But if you're a snake player, your goal is to get to their snake 1. And that way you're going to be able to make the most of those shots. Okay. All right, so now we have our Dorito side. So let me flip this around. I realize that this is going to be upside down, but at least it makes it easier to see. Okay, so Dorito 1. There are some blind shots that I saw, but these are not going to be ones that, like, I would send one of our players here to shoot that. Like, that's not going to be good. The only reason I might send someone here, or that I might want to come here to shoot into there, would be like if we hear that, oh, this guy is tucked in or something, I might be able to come into here, shoot up over the top, but it's a blind shot, so it's not going to be as easy to make. It's not like I have a direct line on him. So there's a lot of blind shots over on the inside, but I think what you're going to want to do is play more the outside, wrap, make sure that you are checking off this center, because there's a lot of guys that are going to be moving around in there and that are going to be causing issues. So you really want to check that off before you get to the next bunker. I personally, I don't think I would come to this little Dorito. personally, I don't know that it's going to be super effective. I mean, I could get on the field with all of these. I think you guys have heard me say it enough. I could get out here on this weekend and go, oh, wow, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So, but right now on paper, you have that shot from the Snake 2. So right when they dive into the Snake 2, they probably should shoot into here because there should be someone over here shooting down on them and hopefully stopping them. But you're kind of an easy kill there. And you can't really do anything on this outside. Like, I guess if you wrapped, but even then it's like you're shooting at edges and trying to like shoot through, thread the needle through here. It's not going to be as good. So if you follow that pink line, like great, you can stop that outside move. But if I'm a Dorito player here and I come here, I mean, if I see that you're over there, I can come up over the top. I have all of this, like as a Dorito player, I would think I have all of this to shoot down on you. And then I can just swoop in and use this Dorito to block me out. There's a pin blocking me out. So it's going to be harder for some of these guys to shoot me. But I mean, I just have to check off the center and then I can just whoop and go right in and be okay. So I don't think that this little Dorito is going to be super useful. But again, maybe we get to the field and we see that that's the most important bunker on the field. This Dorito 2, I think, is going to be more useful. So this one, you see how you have the same line on that God bunker and the snake corner. So shooting into there, you'd be able to, like, remember that shot I said if there was someone here? Like if you hear that your snake guys have this guy tucked in, coming here and shooting that inside gap at that player, you might be able to catch a pack or something. Because if they have to kind of tuck into it and they're not pushing on this side of the bunker and they push out this way a little bit, you might be able to drop it in. Same thing with this this God bunker or this snake insert. If you have them kind of tucked in, this guy might be able to drop it in. So remember, they have the same shots back at you. So like these guys can shoot this back into you. And the issue with the Dorito is that it comes to a point. So you have that point. And if you're not pushed in and tucked in enough, it can drop in. So it's a little bit less protection, but, you know, risk reward kind of stuff. Okay, so then wrapping, obviously, like if you have someone here, you can work together to be able to let's say there's this player is here. The only issue is that if they back up a little bit, they can still shoot this gap. So they would be able to stop you from from going into that brick. Although this Dorito does look pretty useful. Like you have a bunch of shots going into the center. Those same shots, actually better shots, shooting into that snake corner and that snake insert. Wrapping on the outside, you would be able to shoot into this this cake. Wrapping even harder, you would at least be able to see that guy if he's posted. But the thing is as a center player myself, like I played Dorito and center player, or I played Doritos and center for the Kings. I would just back up a little bit and just make sure that I still have this shot. So I'm going to make sure that I can shoot into that if I'm this guy. Like that would be my job if I was here probably, is to stop this guy from moving up. So, and even then, I don't know. I feel like there's some moves that you can make in here that you'll be able to get sneaky with. But obviously, once you get to this brick, that's when you can really wrap and shoot into these Doritos. So it's going to be better to obviously get to their side of the field. But coming to this brick, you can stand up over the top. Again, think you have all this other stuff that you can stand up over. Even someone shorter like me, I can stand up on my tippy toes a little bit and shoot across into other things. But at least I can wrap and then dive into their bunkers and start to get down the field like that. So this Dorito side is probably going to be pretty aggressive. I think getting to this brick is going to be pretty important, just because then you can wrap, and especially if they don't have that, this is when the little Dorito would be important, is you'd be able to stop this guy on the outside. But if he made that inside move, you're kind of out of luck. So there is that. So I'm just kind of thinking out loud, guys. Hopefully this all makes sense. Okay, so that's the Dorito side. So again, these are all first impressions. It's all just kind of what I'm seeing when I first look at the layout. Again, I could get to the layout or practice this weekend and see like, oh, this is complete garbage. This center, this is nice to see for someone like me that I like to go up the center. There are so many options in this center that you can move around and get real sneaky with. and be able to be really, really effective. So let's go from snake side over. So how you would get there is a little bit, that's going to be up to you. But let's say you get into this tower. Because you can stand up and push into it, you can really shoot down on this snake. Now remember, they have those same shots back, but if he's trying to crawl up, you're going to be able to shoot down into that pack. Same thing with being able to help control the snake corner from being able to do anything. Like if the guy gets trapped there, he's just going to have to fight for his life. Whereas this guy at least has some options coming up, but at least you'd be able to stop that outside, maybe make this insert snake a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe if you get here first and they haven't gotten into the snake, you're able to shoot this whole zone here and shoot down on that guy. And if he tries to come around, like let's say somehow you miss here, you're going to be able to shoot him trying to come around over to that side. There is that shot from the Dorito on that side, so you just want to watch your pack, but push in and you should be good. The issue with this bunker is where you go afterwards. This is a bunker that, I mean, I guess you could swing back to this wing or try to get up into this pin, but then you have issues of like, okay, I'm in a pin now. I guess you could try to hop over the snake and crawl down, but that's where you're going to want to get creative. As for this wing, the snake side wing on your wing, when you are in here, you do have some decent shots going into the snake, and because of the way that it's sloped, you're able to stand up a little bit and shoot down into that snake as well. So, you know, maybe you could flip back and forth here and kind of freak someone out, I guess, or confuse them. So, I mean, that's an option. I think it might be better to shoot into this Dorito side. It'd probably be better to get up into this little fortress up here, but at least from this wing, you can shoot a lot of those gaps. And let's say they do move up into this Dorito and then they're able to somehow make it to here. Well, that's when you ask one of your teammates to fill up into here and they can shoot that gap. So you're able to see those moves. That's a really big thing, is being able to see that. From this tower, you do have, I mean, it's kind of threading the needle. It's not going to be super, super great. I think coming up here is going to help with figuring out what side do I need to go to if you're this player, or if you're going to double it up, you can maybe have someone like launch straight to one of these off the break, and then this guy slowly goes up and then figures out what he needs to do. You do have some decent shots going into the Dorito side. I would probably come here to stop. If they went to the Dorito 1, I would probably want to stop here, so that way I can shoot into that Dorito 2 gap. Although there are some other moves you can make up into the center, but at least this way I could put some pressure on that guy and then figure out where to go from there. Let's see. Oh, and then there is a little bit of a blind shot going into that Dorito 1. So if they're trying to come in on the inside up into there, you might be able to drop it in and shoot that guy trying to get sneaky there. This cake, shooting that inside shot, at least will push him this way. I mean, if you can have someone else that would be able to trap that guy there, and you can make it where you can get to you can get to the brick and start rapping on that guy more, that's going to be more ideal. But you can't really stop. I mean, there's a blind shot, but again, it's a blind shot. If they're smart enough of a player, they can get underneath it and then dive across. This wing, like I had mentioned already, you have that shot going into there. I think that there's going to be a bounce off this pin to figure out from where, but that's when you just need to back up a little bit. It slopes down this way, so you can kind of stand up a little bit, and I think you should still be able to shoot down onto that guy trying to fill in. Same thing through here, and through the slope this way. That's a little bit too high, actually. It needs to be moved over a little bit, but you still have that same shot into there. So, I mean, if you had pressure there, then you could fill up into here and keep shooting and keep that guy in. Or if you wanted to, you could come over here and, you know, bait the guy to think that he has this move to here and then shoot him on the next move. So you have some options, but I think that which Dorito was it? Now I need to double check. Yeah, actually, no, it's this Dorito. So if you trapped him there, it might be okay. Okay, so let's go into this crazy center piece here. So I think moving around in here is going to be the thing that'll help you win matches. Moving around, you can kind of sit up a little bit in this section and shoot into those gaps. It's going to be more effective shooting this way. You are shooting kind of heads up with the snake guy, but you might be able to drop in some shots, or they come to the snake too and you're already waiting for them to shoot them there. If you're in here, you're able to lock down a lot of sides of that particular Dorito side, and then getting into their wings, you can see you have a better shot into the snake, but then an even better shot into those Doritos there. Let's see. And then from the Dorito side here, so you can see that this moving around in here and being unpredictable is going to be really effective. So you want to make sure that you have a smart player in here, as well as having just the field awareness that if someone is here and you're in one of these wings, well, you're probably going to be the one that needs to go. But the issue is that now you have to go around this little W. They're going to be able to stand up over the top and see you. So you're going to want to be smart with how you go through there. But I think that this center structure in here, just really all of my guys that play Dorito and Snake side, you need to make sure that you check that guy off. All right, bounce shots. I want to be quick because actually my battery is saying that it's dying. Oh no! So from let's go with this one first. From the wing off the Aztec into the can, I think might work. This one is going to be a little bit. It might be too close, but I like to just put them out there and see what happens. Let's see. So from this little Dorito and from this Dorito, if you wrap, I think you might be able to bounce it off that pin into this guy. I think they should be able to back up, but because the pin is standing a little bit taller, maybe depending on how high or low you shoot it, you might be able to make that work. This snake player, I think, might be able to wrap, and you're definitely playing with lightning here because you're having to worry about drop shots, but I think you might be able to bounce it off this tower into that wing, and then from this snake 3, their snake 3, I think you might be able to bounce it. This might be too hard of a bounce, but this is one that at least you might be able to catch that guy off guard and make sure that they are kind of just, staying honest. So as for the giveaway, Volcano was nice enough to be like, hey, when are we doing another giveaway? So we're doing one now. So if you want to win a new Volcano gear bag like the one that I use, what you need to do is make sure that you put in the comments down below, what side do you think, or what part of the field do you think is going to be the most aggressive and most important? So make sure that you also like and subscribe, and I need you to email me, and I'll put the email down here, your screen name. So that way, once we select the winners, which will be on a date around here somewhere, I'll be able to get a hold of you and be able to ship it out. So I think it's only going to be domestic. For those that are international, you'll just have to help pay the extra for the shipping, but feel free to go ahead and enter. So hopefully you all, well, good luck to everyone. It's just good to get back out, man. Like I was like, even last night, just like, oh man, I'm excited. So this is definitely good to go out and just ready for the weekend. So I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.